This is using manipulatives in the math classroom, Unifix cubes. The standard I have chosen is from the Operations and Algebraic Thinking domain. 4.OA.A.2 says multiply or divide to solve contextual problems involving multiplicative comparison and distinguish multiplicative comparison from additive comparison. For this video, I will be focusing on just the first part, multiply or divide to solve contextual problems involving multiplicative comparison. Some example problems that I have chosen are Tom ran 4 laps around the football field. Sam ran 5 times as many laps around the football field. How many laps did Sam run? The second example would be a single rose costs $3. A bunch of roses costs $12. How many times more does the bunch of roses cost than the single rose? And finally, a family-sized pizza is $24 and costs 3 times as much as a small pizza. Peter buys 2 family-sized pizzas and 3 small pizzas. How much does he spend in all? I will be using the virtual manipulatives from didax.com, and I've gotten my example problems from mathteachingresources.com. So in that first example problem, if we go to our Unifix cubes here, says Tom ran 4 laps around the football field. So students would place 4 Unifix cubes to represent the 4 laps that Tom has run. Then it says Sam ran 5 times as many laps around the football field. How many laps did Sam run? So this is a multiplication problem. They're going to be saying that if Tom ran 4 laps and Sam ran 5 times as many laps, you're going to need to place 5 times as many blocks on the screen. So if this first column represents Tom's laps, you're adding more cubes so that you then have 5 columns of 4, or 5 times 4. So the students would have, this one down here. So that is 5 times as many as that original 4. And then they can either add them up and say 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, or they can just do 5 times 4, which equals 20, which would be the number of laps that Sam ran. And you would explain to them that this is 5 times as many. You've got 5 times 4 because 4 is the same number of laps that Tom ran. And then 5 times as many would be 20. And then for the second example problem, if you have a single rose costs $3, so you could place 3 cubes to represent the $3 that the single rose costs. And then a bunch of roses cost $12. So you could have 12 blocks to represent the $12. So that would be 12 blocks there. And then the question says, how many times more does the bunch of roses cost than the single rose? So here, that's division. And the students would look at this 12 and say, oh, well, if 1 rose in here in this blue costs $3, we need to separate it out into 3s. So you can break these blocks actually. And you've got $3 for 1 rose, $3 for a second rose, and you would just keep doing that until you've broken all of your 12 into 3s. And so here you see you have 4 sets of $3. So that means you've got 4 roses in a bunch, and the question said, how many times more does the bunch of roses cost? And since you know that that 1 rose cost $3, you know that the bunch of roses is going to cost 4 times as many dollars. And so they can see that visually here with that 12 being split into 4 sections. And then lastly, we have I've already got blocks on here since there were so many. It says a family size pizza is $24. So I've got 24 red blocks here, or Unifix cubes. And it cost 3 times as much as a small pizza. Peter buys 2 family size pizzas and 3 small pizzas. How much does he spend in all? So the first thing you're going to want to do is figure out how much does a small pizza cost? Because it doesn't tell you that information in the problem. It says a family size pizza is $24, so I've got my 24 Unifix cubes. And that is 3 times as much as a small pizza. So you know, basically 3 small pizzas cost the same as $24. So that is also division. Here you're going to want to split this into 3 equal sections. So you have to do 24 divided by 3, which we know is 8, but the students would figure that out. And they can play around with these blocks. So this would be 8. And that is 8. And you can put them next to each other so they can see that they are all the same. And then that is 8. So they know 3 small pizzas is $24, the same amount as the family size pizza, and each one of these small pizzas costs $8. So then they can move on, and the problem says Peter buys 2 family size pizzas, so remember that's $24 each, and 3 small pizzas, which now we know are $8 each. So they can either take a bunch of Unifix cubes and add them all together, or if they just want to write it down, they can say 24 times 2, because you've got 2 family size pizzas, and then 8 times 3, because you've got 3 small pizzas, and then add those numbers together, and your spend total would be $72. So that is 3 different example problems. They're all asking for different information about multiplicative comparison, and it's multiplying and dividing different numbers. And all 3 of those problems, I liked those because they were all asking for different things, and the students would really be able to grasp the different problems that they can use these cubes for. And then one more time, I just got my information from the manipulatives are didax.com, and they actually have a lot of different manipulatives if you wanted to look at those. And then also those example problems I just got from a form on mathteachingresources.com. So thank you.